English belongs to the Western group of the Germanic branch of the Indo-European language family. It is related to the dialects of Low German and Dutch. English originated from the language spoken in the English Isles by the Germanic tribes, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, who arrived in the British Isles around 450 AD and managed to displace the native Celtic-speaking inhabitants in what is now Scotland, Wales, Cornwall, and Ireland. The dialects spoken by these invaders formed the basis of Old English, which was also heavily influenced by Old Norse, spoken by the Viking invaders of the 8th and 9th centuries. For 300 years after the Norman conquest of 1066, the kings of England spoke only French. During this time, a large number of French words were assimilated into Old English, which also lost most of its inflections. The resulting language is known as Middle English. The most famous surviving works of Old and Middle English are the Canterbury Tales, Beowulf, and Chaucer. Around 1500, the Great Vowel Shift marked the transition from Middle English to Modern English. It occurred in the 15th–18th centuries in a series of gradual stages and involved a change of sounds affecting the long vowels in English, known as the Great Vowel Shift. Dialects of English spread from Great Britain in the 17th and 18th centuries to North America, the Caribbean, and Northern Ireland, and in the 18th and 19th centuries to South Asia and Africa. When the colonists emancipated themselves from England, the variants of English evolved differently. Over time, they became increasingly distinct from each other and from their original British English. Today, there are many variants of Standard English in the world, as well as countless non-standard variants. Standard variants are often divided into two groups differentiated mainly by pronunciation and vocabulary, which are more noticeable in speech than in writing. British English, spoken by native English speakers in England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. American English, spoken by native speakers educated in English in the United States and Canada. Each of the two varieties encompasses a large number of regional and social differences that are reflected in pronunciation, vocabulary, and even grammar. As a result, English can no longer be thought of as a unitary language. Instead, it is more appropriate to think of the different dialects of English in the world